Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the Roots Tech 2024 MC, Kirby Hayborn.
Hello, everybody. It smells like those cinnamon almonds out here. Who brought them? I need some. So good. We're so excited to bring you to this new, the Innovation and Tech Forum at Roots Tech 2024. I'm Kirby Hayborn, and I honestly am so excited to be your MC today as we dive into the fascinating world of artificial intelligence and its impact on family history and genealogy. Now, I gotta say, the advancements that we've seen lately in tech are downright mind-blowing. From AI to predictive analytics, the technology that we're encountering is seriously cool. And here at Roots Tech, we're right in the thick of it all, using these tools to uncover stories and connect with our roots in ways that we never thought possible. I am seriously curious, what are your thoughts about AI? So we're gonna do a quick poll. We've got a QR code. Is it coming up? Oh, we got to go on to the Roots Tech app. Are we there? Here it comes. It's coming. There we go. Okay, so take your phones out, scan this code. I'll get out of the way. And you're going to do a poll. This is what's cool. We're using technology to show how cool technology is. So take that, and then it should be instantaneous. So click, do you understand nothing, a little, more than most, I'm an expert. Ooh, look at that. I guess at a genealogical conference there, that makes sense. Do you understand? Oh, now we're coming on a little bit. Look at that. So I guess you understand a little. And there's 6% that are experts. Where are the experts at? You're using ChatGPT or are using stuff to help with FamilySearch, and you're already in this. You should be up here telling us about it. That's great. Okay, well, it looks like this is perfect. This is the perfect audience for our next speaker. You understand a little, and I bet you're a little afraid to dive in just because it's something new. It's my pleasure to be able to introduce to you our first speaker. He happens to be an expert in artificial intelligence. Get ready to be blown away because we have the honor of hearing from Jared Spataro. He's Microsoft's Corporate Vice President of AI at Work. Now, Jared is going to be sharing some insights into the future of the work and the incredible potential of artificial intelligence. Following Jared's presentation, we have a series of captivating demos lined up from 6 of the top AI innovations in our industry. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming to the stage the amazing Jared Spataro.
Good afternoon, everyone. What an honor and a pleasure to be here with you today. First, I just want to start by saying a sincere thank you to the Roots Tech team for having me. Now, for the next 15 minutes, I would like to dive into a topic that I spend most of my days now thinking about, artificial intelligence, or AI, as you just heard. Of course, AI is my day job at Microsoft, but I'm also very deeply involved in my church, something that at work, at least, I call my second job. And I'm finding that AI is increasingly playing an important part in the conversations that I'm having when I'm out in the community serving. So let's get right to it. Regardless of who I'm meeting with, whether it's someone at the grocery store or the CEO of a global company, I always begin those conversations in the same place. What exactly is AI, and how does it work? Just like the folks in this room, I found that everyone has different levels of familiarity and experience with the technology itself. So for that reason, this afternoon, I would like to start back at the beginning. For many of us, the first time we had a chance to really be exposed to generative AI was when we saw ChatGPT in November of 2022. Think back to the first time that you saw ChatGPT in action, saw what it could do. Perhaps it was a party trick at a holiday table. ChatGPT really was the first time that generative artificial intelligence was given directly to millions of people around the world. And what they found was that this AI tool could create compelling original content on demand. But what exactly is it, and how does it work? Well, it all starts with you. You direct AI to create content by typing a question or instructions into a chat box, and this is called a prompt. You don't need to know any technical language because generative AI works using just your own words. The basic model involves three things: your prompt, an AI orchestrator, and an LLM. Your prompt tells the orchestrator to pull relevant information from that LLM, or what we call a large language model. Now, if you're not very exposed to this, you may be wondering, what in the world is the LLM? In essence, an LLM is something that's captured a wide range of human knowledge through the written word. It's pulled from millions of sources of publicly available information. The LLM has taken that written word, processed it, and used it to create literally a conceptual understanding of the world. Because LLMs are based on a tremendous amount of information, they're versed in just about any topic you or I could think of, including elephants, which means they can give you accurate responses to questions or prompts. So let's see this in action. Today, first starting with ChatGPT as the orchestrator. I'll ask it to help me learn more about family history. Now, to be clear, this LLM was never trained on explicitly understanding how to research your family history. We just gave it a lot of different materials, and it turns out that family history was in there. And as you can see, it knows quite a bit about the subject. It offers some pretty practical tips, like talk to relatives, create a family tree, explore some online resources, and maybe even tapping into resources at a local library. So again, just to reiterate, this LLM was never trained specifically. It's just taken the written word and used it to create a conceptual understanding of the world around us the way we understand the world. OK, here we go. Let's now ask it a different question. This time, we're going to ask it something related to current events, like the details of the Roots Tech 2024 conference. We're going to type this prompt in, and we're going to see how it answers. Looks like it's coming up just a little bit short. It's telling me that its knowledge cutoff date was January 2022, which means that it doesn't have access to any information that was created after that time. Now, I want to pause here for just a moment, because this was the state of the technology about 12 months ago. We had in an LLM the equivalent of a college-educated thinker, a general-purpose reasoning machine. But unfortunately, it didn't have access to any current or recent information. Well, we addressed that shortfall in a product that at Microsoft we call Copilot. Now, like ChatGPT, Copilot is just an orchestrator. It's where you type in your prompt, and it does the work to coordinate pulling the right information from the right places to respond. But what makes Copilot different than that earlier version of ChatGPT is something that we call grounding. Grounding. Microsoft Copilot was the first AI orchestrator to introduce web grounding. This means that Copilot can search the internet in relation to your prompt and send contextually relevant information to the LLM to improve its response. So now Copilot can answer questions reasoning over multiple sources of data and then generating useful content in text form about stuff happening right now. So let's take that same prompt that failed a moment ago, and we're going to plug it back into Copilot to see how it responds. I'm just at copilot.microsoft.com. It's free. You can try this out for yourself. And we'll see how it does. And there you go. Roots Tech 2024 will take place February 29th to March 2nd at the Salt Palace Convention Center in Salt Lake City. Now, you can even see how it includes a reference to resources that it used to get the answer. In this case, the top one was FamilySearch.org. And that allows you to go and fact check, because Copilot doesn't always get it right, but it does help you take a step forward. Now, what we essentially just did is take a thinking machine, give it access to the most recent data via the internet, and then ask it to reason over that data to come up with a response to our question. And this concept of grounding, that idea of grounding an LLM in specific data sources, opens up amazing, amazing possibilities for the world. We can apply it to common personal scenarios, so you can use it to help with your hobbies, your side projects, even with family history work. And we certainly can apply it to businesses. So an organization of any size can have a personalized AI tool that knows the ins and outs of the business better than any employee ever could. But it still can't do highly specialized tasks, like, for instance, designing an image, creating a graph, or producing a song. To do that, we need to connect it to other specialized AI tools. And just like the connection to new data sources unlock new capabilities, connections to these specialized AI tools open up literally limitless potential for what AI can do for you. So let's say I'm planning an event for my family, and I would like to create an official Spataro logo. I just give it a little inspiration to get it started, and then we ask it to actually create something for me to look at. Let's give it a moment, and it will put on its thinking cap, and there we go. A few pretty good creative options for me to consider, and you can also see some pretty glaring spelling issues. It turns out that is not how you spell my last name. That's very emblematic of what we're seeing across the board with this generative AI. Sometimes it absolutely knocks your socks off, and at other times, it can't seem to compete with a first grader. But these flashes of brilliance that you see, because if you look at that generated image, it's very impressive. These flashes of brilliance give you a sense for what's possible as we continue to refine the technology and the tools. Okay, so remember, we had this general purpose reasoning engine in the LLM, which didn't have inherently any ability as a graphic designer, but we essentially allowed it to phone a friend, enabling it to make a call to a specialized AI tool designed to generate images. And we gave the reasoning engine a new skill. The ability to create an image is just one of many specialized skills that you can turn on with today's AI. Another one might be creating a song. Now, my family members would be the first to tell you that I have a few talents, but music is not one of them. But let's just say that I wanted to come up with a song complete with lyrics and an accompanying tune. Here we go. Write a country song about how researching family history is fun. I can ask Copilot for a little help, and within seconds, here we go. We get the lyrics, and wait a second, it will actually generate the tune, and we can listen to it. Let's see how it sounds.
Sifting through the pages of an old dusty book, memories and stories, they all come flooding back, putting the puzzle pieces of my past together, discovering the roots that I didn't know I had.
Okay, I gotta pause for a second. If that doesn't knock your socks off, I don't know what will. Now, maybe you didn't like the country song. That's okay, it'll get better. But come on, with like 20 words, I literally was able to create a song, the music, the background singers, people with country twangs. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Okay, now let's say that I wanted to share this song with my Aunt Celine, who just doesn't speak a lick of English. It turns out that Copilot has yet another highly specialized skill, and that's the ability to translate text into other languages. This is really one of my favorite uses of Copilot. I mentioned that I'm deeply involved with my church in the community, and as part of that, I actually serve with people who don't speak English. And I've been taking Spanish lessons now for a couple of years, but there is really, honestly, no more patient teacher than Copilot. It helps me to translate my sermons into Spanish and can ensure that I'm using just the right words to sound a little bit more native. It is, for me, truly a miracle. Okay, so back to our song here. Let's ask it to translate this song into French for Aunt Celine. And here we go. We get the French translation. Now, I admit French is not one of the languages that I speak yet, but the feedback that we get on this particular skill is quite good. Copilot is very adept at this kind of translation work. All right, one more example that I'm excited about might be particularly relevant to a room full of family history gurus. Copilot's deep knowledge of the world isn't just based on text or the written word. It also includes an understanding of the world based on imagery, which means that we can feed it an image and ask it to tell us more about that image. As an example, let's take now a family photo and say that you wanted to know exactly what kind of car that great-grandpa Joe used to drive. We feed in the image, and we ask the question. And Copilot tells us that this is a classic model of a Chevy Impala from the 1960s. That same concept works for notable city skylines, scenic vistas. You can upload just about any image, and Copilot can tell you more about what's in the photo. It is truly amazing. Now, let's just pause for a moment. At this point, you can see that we've made a tremendous amount of progress over the last 12 months. We've discovered that we have a general purpose reasoning engine, and then with this idea of grounding, we can apply that thinking of the reasoning engine over any source of data, including the internet. And now we can augment it with brand new skills like the ability to generate images or even country songs. Wow, all of a sudden you have a tool that can do some pretty amazing things. Now, earlier, I mentioned how you could apply this in a business or even in a personal setting. So let's dive into that by heading over to Copilot for Microsoft 365. Here we took all of what you just saw, the foundational capabilities of AI, and the ability to ground it in a specific data set. In this particular case, that will be the Microsoft data. That's your emails, your chats, your files, your documents. And we've integrated all of that into the apps that literally millions of people already use every day: Outlook, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Let's start and show you what that looks like in Word. When you create a new document, you'll see the Copilot box, as you have here. You can simply tell Copilot what you'd like to create. And one thing that we're finding is that the more context and detail that you give it, the better the output is that you'll receive. So in this case, let's ask it specifically to create a 1,500-word document explaining how to get started with testing your DNA and researching your family history. Please include at least 3 sections and give detailed steps for each one. We'll ask it to generate and give it just a moment. Now just watch as it does its magic. This actually is sped up slightly because it can take a minute or two to generate all 1,500 words, but it's an actual recording of the product in action. Not only is this thing a time saver, it can also help improve the quality of the work. So now let's say that we needed to make a presentation that is based on this outline in the Word document. Yep, you guessed it. We can actually move over into PowerPoint and use Copilot to create that presentation. So here we are in PowerPoint. We give instructions to create a presentation from the Word document that we just generated. Copilot analyzes the file. It first starts with an outline, so it knows what it's going to do. And then it takes that outline and actually creates slides complete with images. Within moments, you have a presentation laid out with an agenda, an introduction, all the things that you'll need to walk through the information that was in the document. Man, what a time saver. You end up with a great starting point and just have to do a little bit of work to actually refine it before you can call it done. Throughout my workday, probably the place that I use Copilot the most now is in email. I just don't manage my email the same way that I used to manage my email. Copilot can take care, for instance, of summarizing a long email chain, flagging when there's something that needs my attention, and it can even write my emails for me. Here we'll start a new email, and we use, in this particular case, a small prompt, and then we have it write for us. There's even a feature here called Sounds Like Me that takes all your previously sent email to understand your style and tone, and then adjusts Copilot so that it writes just like you. I'm not kidding. And just like in the PowerPoint, you're always in control, so you can still edit or refine before clicking send. Now, it's worth repeating that Copilot doesn't always get it right. It does sometimes make mistakes. After all, it is not autopilot. It is your Copilot. But sometimes it just completely blows your mind. There is no denying that the promise is very real. Based on the feedback from early users, we're already seeing the ways it can make us more productive, more creative, and ultimately help us spend more of our time on the things that matter most to us, the things that are most rewarding and engaging. And I think that that's something to get very excited about. Now, we as a company are excited to get it into your hands to see what you do with it, so please feel free to give it a try. You can go to copilot.microsoft.com for free or download the app in the iOS or Android app stores. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jared, for being here with us and helping expand our understanding and the potential of artificial intelligence. Now we have the opportunity to hear from 6 organizations within the family history industry as they showcase their AI innovations. First up, FamilySearch will take the stage, followed directly by Living History, then Storied, then Emulate Me, Story, and finally Ancestry. Are you all ready to get started? All right, well then let's give it up for FamilySearch.
Hello, my name is John Morey, and I oversee our advanced technology research efforts at FamilySearch. And my team's job is to identify game-changing technology that make family history easier and more rewarding. As Jared was saying, artificial intelligence is a term that we often hear, but what does it really mean? Well, in essence, AI programs are programs that learn to accomplish tasks through examples and patterns. And despite the name, AI really isn't that intelligent. It is pretty amazing, but it's not intelligent the way that people are. However, AI can mimic human intelligence in some very useful ways. And we just saw an example of ChatGPT. That was a great example, which is a language model developed by OpenAI, which can produce and understand text. So I asked ChatGPT, and I promise I didn't coordinate this with Jared, but I asked it to write me the lyrics to a country song about Roots Tech. And here's what it came up with. Frankly, I like Jared's better. Well, I don't see this topping any charts. It is still pretty amazing. And by the way, we call this generative AI because it generated something new, in this case, lyrics. And so from here on, when you hear me say AI, I'm really talking about generative AI in this talk. And it's not just about lyrics or text. As we've seen, AI applications can generate images, audio, and even video. So for another example, I asked another AI application to draw a picture of a Tyrannosaurus Rex giving a talk at Roots Tech. Now that would be a pretty memorable keynote. So what does this have to do with family history? I promise it has something to do with it. Hopefully Jared's talk got your imagination going about what is possible. And here are just three other areas where I believe that AI is fundamentally going to change family history. And first, as we'll see in a minute, I believe AI will allow us to create user interfaces that are more natural for people to use. And AI in particular is really good at understanding what we mean instead of what we say. Second, I believe that AI will bring family history to a broader audience. For example, imagine somebody who can't read or write doing family history on a smartphone. And third, AI is already accelerating the pace at which developers can write and test the applications that you use. And so just to illustrate this, I created a simple application in just a few hours using Microsoft's AI services and ChatGPT to help me write the code. And I'm going to show you a recording of an actual session of my wife using my app to upload a family photo. And using voice technology, the app will help her identify people and tell the story behind her photo. And then using that information, the AI will create a caption, written narrative, and even a pedigree chart from this. And so this was entirely unscripted. In fact, my wife kicked me out of the room when she did it. But I've clipped out portions of the video just to keep it brief, but this is not fake. The AI is actually coming up with its own questions about the photo.
It looks like a snapshot of daily life back in the day. Everyone seems busy doing something on the roof. It must have been an important task. Can you name the people labeled with a number in this family picture, starting with the one labeled number 1?
Yeah, these are 4 of the By the Way boys. Their last name was By the Way, B-Y-T-H-E-W-A-Y. Number 1 is Mervin. 2 is Glenn.
That's quite a unique last name. It must spark some conversations.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've been approached. Oh, by the way, Sabina, how you doing today?
Do you remember what they were working on up on the roof that day?
Yeah, they were working on reshingling their grandmother's roof.
Reshingling a roof is no small feat, especially back in 1928. It's a great glimpse into the kind of teamwork that must have been common in their time. Do you have any other memories about this picture or stories about...
I've been told the boys enjoyed playing on the walls of the city, and I also know that they were really hard workers and did a lot of projects together, as most families did back then.
It's impressive to think about the camaraderie and close bonds formed through shared labor back then. How are you related to the Bytheway boys?
Quentin, by the way, in number 4 is my grandfather. My name is Sabina, by the way. My father is Gilbert, by the way, and Quentin was his father.
How did your father, Gilbert, describe his dad and uncles? Did he...
Caption for that photo out of that conversation she just had, and then creates a longer story in her own voice. And just to prove that it understood this, had it create a tree as well. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Especially just for a quick prototype like that. Thank you. And to be very clear, that is just a prototype. You're not going to find that on the FamilySearch site right now. But my purpose was just to get you thinking about what is possible with new AI technology. And that said, it's no secret we are working on AI in certain areas, 2 specific areas. First, we're continuing to use AI to help us translate, transcribe, and index historical record images. And we call this computer-assisted indexing. And that ongoing effort's only being accelerated by new advancements in generative AI. And also, as you've seen earlier in the technology forum, we're greatly improving our help using AI and generative AI. And we call this FamilySearch Helper. And those are just a couple areas where we're currently, we're working on AI, and we expect great things in the coming months, but stay tuned. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Gibson, and I am the creator of livinghistory.ai and theafterlife.ai. If you could spend one day with anyone from the past, who would it be? And what would you ask them? For me, I've always wanted to meet my great-grandfather, James Gibson, a proud Irishman. In 2002, I performed in the Olympic opening ceremonies in Salt Lake City. The seamstress who made my costume made this coat that I am wearing today. It was inspired by the idea of an immigrant from Ireland like James Gibson. And now, whenever I put on this coat, I feel like I'm connecting to a man I've always wanted to meet in person. The problem is, the ancestors we want to talk to are dead. Livinghistory.ai creates immersive historical experiences powered by AI. You can now talk with the people you have always wanted to meet. You can get to know historical figures and ancestors, have lifelike conversations with them, and explore their world and objects. You can ask them about their life, have them tell you a story, or even ask them for advice. Let's see what Harriet Tubman said when I asked her if she has any regrets.
Regrets? Well, my dear, I believe that life's too short for regrets. I've been blessed with the opportunity to make a difference, to fight for what's right, and to help those in need. And I can tell you this much. There ain't a day that goes by where I don't thank the Lord above for guiding me on this path. So no, I don't have regrets. I have lessons learned, strength gained, and a fire in my belly that keeps me pressing on.
I've fallen in love with Harriet Tubman the more I get to know her. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, right? As you can see, this project is not just an AI chatbot. We build brains, bodies, voices, environments, and object storytelling. And all those things combine to create a powerful emotional experience when meeting an ancestor or a historical figure for the first time. Another problem our platform solves is, what do you do with all the stuff and all the work you've done and all the stuff you have sitting in your basement or storage facility? Also, the amount of stuff per individual is increasing, but our time to access it is limited. Now, even in just a few minutes during your day, you can ask them a question. Ask them to tell you a story from their childhood, or see if they have any advice about how to be a better parent. Collecting, archiving, and storing all the artifacts of your ancestors is not enough. Your work is not done until you know them. Our platform allows you to get to know them, preserve their legacy for future generations, gets your kids excited about and engaged in family history, and provides you a way to not just do family history, but experience it. Imagine leveling up your family reunions by learning about a shared ancestor. You can split the cost with other family members and even use the time together to imagine who you would like us to build for next year's reunion. As we build more and more custom experiences for you, we've been working on a way to present all these characters so that you can meet more than just one or two ancestors, but thousands of them. To do this, we've created a revolutionary interface called the Afterlife.ai, an immersive 3D version of your family tree. With the help of AI and the FamilySearch API, you can do so many awesome things. You're used to seeing your family tree in 2 dimensions. What you're looking at now is a refreshing and expansive upgrade to your pedigree and fan charts and your 3D family tree. You can visualize up to 16 generations at once, and you can see gaps where work still needs to be done. You can sort data based on age, century of birth, gender, birthplace, or number of children. In this way, you can go from thousands of individuals down to a few select individuals. We also envision a near future with deeper level indexing that will allow you to sort ancestors based on interests or hobbies. Imagine finding all of your ancestors that were bakers or criminals or both. When you click on an ancestor, you get transported to their world. You can explore images, text, and audio files drawn directly from the memory section of FamilySearch. We're actively and anxiously developing in this area, and we'll be releasing other updates this year. The Afterlife.ai is the future for visualizing your family tree, and LivingHistory.ai is the future for experiencing the past. And what's most exciting is we are just getting started. Special thanks to Sister Pat, who's in the audience today. She's a service missionary from the FamilySearch VROC BYU, has been a key part of our development team. Thank you.
Hi. I'm here to talk about the biography extraction technology that we have developed recently at Storied. We'll take a journey from the past through the present and into the future to see how these fascinating records can be utilized to further connect us to our ancestors. To start with, what is a biography? What is historical biography? We consider any printed account of an individual as a biography. For today, I'm going to be focusing on out-of-copyright books, something you'd see in any library. But the technology could be applied to any printed source. The core problem we face is that these historical biographies, they provide a unique and detailed insight into the story of the individuals and their lives, but it's challenging to find them and integrate them into our family tree. It requires a substantial amount of transcription effort. At Storied, we're going to fix all of that. In the last 25 years, since the advent of using the internet to access historical records, how we search and integrate these records, it's not really changed that much. Companies like Storied have gotten rights to access the historical biographies, scanned these books, OCR'd the resulting images, created an index of all the words in the book, and then created a search forum for users to search using keywords, creating kind of a keyword soup. And before that, we went to the library, pulled an interesting book off the shelf, and started flipping through pages. In either case, if you do find your ancestor, there's a huge amount of work to do to parse through that narration, extract all the dates, the places, the relationships, and enter all of this information into your family tree. It can take literally hours of transcribing for just one chapter of one of these books. I don't know if this sounds familiar to any of you, but we do it anyway because these biographies are a rich source of family history detail. They offer in-depth information on the relationships and personal life events that can be a treasure trove of information not only about your ancestor, but parents, children, coworkers, military experience, or school relationships. At Storied, we've decided to make this process much easier with an objective of going from a book to your tree, then onto a shareable story in a few simple steps. Using this biography extraction technology, we can find the individuals along with their key life events, as well as any relatives or other people mentioned. And then once these individuals are identified, we graph all these relationships from the book, creating a family and non-family view of who's been mentioned. We can then send your hint onto your tree to let you know we found something interesting so that you can go look at it without all that keyword soup searching that you have to do. Once you attach these facts and their source to the tree, you can take the most interesting parts of their biography and incorporate them into your story feed, sharing them in bite-sized chunks that someone will actually read, and sending it out to your family members. So, what is the underlying technology that we use to do all this? Magic. This is how ChatGPT imagined the process, this image. Not exactly how it works. In a nutshell, we use a bit of computer vision to aid in detecting the columns and the boundaries of the pages. We use a large language model that was discussed earlier to help us to find and isolate the individuals from the text, and then pull out their life events. We use a thing called retrieval augmented generation to keep the large language model from losing its memory and losing track of who's who. We'll often use natural language processing and regular expressions that are a little bit old school to help improve the quality of the extraction. Then we send all of this to our proprietary normalization process, where humans go through and look at the dates, look at the places, and correct them, make sure that they are spelled right and they're standardized. Then we enter this into our graph database. This is a database that it's a little bit of an improvement on GEDCOM, where we can add people that are not related to your connectedness, to your graph. And anyone mentioned in the article or the biography can be given the equal standing with the bloodline members. What are the results? We're seeing really good results. We tested on 1,000 books as a proof of concept, ran it through and ran it at scale, and the accuracy, what we call the precision and recall, are within the tolerances we would expect. And we're in the process of scaling this up so we can do tens of thousands of books. What makes this all especially challenging, of course, is the underlying technology, the large language models and the AI, is literally changing every week. And so we have to be able to swap out things as that improves over time. To summarize, Story has developed a completely revolutionary approach to incorporating the people found in historical biographies and getting them into your tree. And more importantly, a way to take those stories that have been locked up in these old books and share them with your family. Thank you.
I'm sure that everyone here, at least once, wished to talk with someone that is no longer in this world. Can you please raise your hand and say yes if you ever have? OK, that's a lot. So during the next 5 minutes, we are going to time travel. If I could choose, I would love to talk to Charlie, my grandfather. I would love to ask him for advice and hear his funny anecdotes again. So this is little me 20 years ago when Charlie created our family tree book. He organized a family reunion, gave us printed copies of the book, and explained to us the importance of knowing about our family history. And 3 years ago, I finally got curious about my roots, so I went back to Charlie's work, and I found lots of information. But did I really know my ancestors beyond names and dates? I wanted to discover more about my family. I wanted to chat with my ancestors. So genealogy is evolving, and thanks to all the genealogists like you here and great tech genealogy companies, our generation has access to databases and digitized documents that help us to understand who we are. And today, as we enter the era of AI, we have now a big opportunity. We can now create experiences that make the interaction with the information available more exciting and attractive to the new generations. As we agreed before, we envisioned many times, not only in our dreams, but in movies like Superman, to chat with our ancestors, and that was impossible, that was fiction, until today.
Emulate Me is a platform that enables conversations with your ancestors. I know it might sound a bit crazy, but we are on the Tech and Innovation Forum, right? So let's see how it works.
Emulate Me empowers you to create a lifelike digital version of your ancestors. They will look, sound, and respond just like them.
Hello there, it's wonderful to be here and a pleasure to meet you.
Let's ask Virtual Grandpa something. What do you enjoy in life?
I enjoy collecting antiques, reading old personal histories and journals, and spending time outdoors.
Our powerful technology processes the data, and our AI engine learns from it to bring the emulation to life. Invite your family members to ask questions and be amazed by the smart avatar you've created.
Emulate Me is easy to use and compatible with FamilySearch. You can import data from your family tree, such as pictures, voice clips, documents, and facts. Or you could upload them directly from your computer. Then, powered by AI, you will create emulations of your ancestors in just a few steps and start conversations with them. But wait, that's not all. Let me introduce our latest feature. You can not only chat, but also call an ancestor.
Wait, Matt, what? A phone call?
Do you want to try it with Grandpa Charlie?
OK, let's try. Hey, Grandpa, is that you?
Yes, my dear, it's me, Grandpa Charlie. How can I help you today?
OK, so I'm here at RootsTech presenting Emulate Me to many people. Can you give me advice?
Oh, that's fantastic. Here's my advice. Focus on the incredible stories Emulate Me can unlock. Share your passion, make it personal, and let them see how it brings family history to life. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Grandpa.
You're welcome, my dear. Always here for you.
This technology is available today on your phones and computer.
Now picture this on a Sunday with your family asking your grandparents for advice and anecdotes. Emulate Me redefines the way we connect with our roots. Emulate Me is a fresh new experience for everyone, even those less familiar with genealogy. I'm Ariel.
And I'm Max. And this is our American-Argentinian team. We are ready to integrate with other genealogy platforms, biography books, and to create interactive experiences in museums, universities, and libraries.
We invite you all to join us at our booth, where you can try this experience by chatting and calling the avatars of Brandy Siever, Hugh Nibley, and Da Vinci. And of course, you can create the emulations of your ancestor there, and we will help you. Bring your family trees to life. Thank you for listening.
Have you ever kept voicemails from loved ones that have passed away just to hear their voice? Hi, I'm Cameron, founder of Story. We help the world record life stories without writing a word. And we do this through phone calls. Everyone has a story to tell, and it's therapeutic to record your memories for posterity. But doing so can be pretty cumbersome. You can write in journals, but not if you have arthritis. You can type in a computer if you're able to use one. And you can use a voice recorder, but where do you start, and how do you organize the files? For all these methods, you also need to remember and have the motivation to keep at it, often resulting in unfinished memoirs. Introducing Story, a simple way to record life stories over the phone. Story will automatically call your loved ones and ask meaningful questions about their life, to which they can respond in their own voice. Story records, transcribes, and stores the answers in an online keepsake profile, organizing them so you don't have to. Story using phone calls lets anyone participate that can use a phone, even landlines, so storytellers don't need the internet. When you purchase Story for a loved one, you can pick the days and times they'll receive calls. For questions, we have an automatic list of over 1,000 in both English and Spanish, or you can add your own. At any time, all recordings can be downloaded as an organized audiobook of your life. So why does this work? It's easy and practical. You don't need smart devices or the internet to take part. And it's passive. Story calls you. You don't need to remember to use us. It also improves communication. Families get a text after each answer, which gives you something to talk about. We've also completed a clinical study that proves that story significantly increases psychological well-being. So whilst you can record stories entirely over phone calls, for those who can go online, we have a powerful platform and app through which you can organize and upload content at your own pace. We break down areas of life into convenient sections, and you can also add your own custom questions and answers at any time. When you complete a story call, the recording and direct transcript are accessible within seconds. This text can be edited, and additional media like images, videos, or even other audio recordings can be added to supplement any answer. In addition to direct transcripts, we also run an AI analysis on recordings. This generates a summary, key phrases, and high-level topics of each transcript, which can be really helpful to find out what you talk about the most. Importantly, we also provide an AI biography rewrite alongside each transcript. I tend to ramble a little bit when I record my stories, and often I might jump from one topic to another. Our rewrite acts as your automatic ghostwriter. It'll craft your transcription into a succinct, structured, and easy-to-digest paragraph. And we're just getting started. We have thousands of users recording incredible stories, and we wanted to give them a way to summarize their life in a meaningful, engaging, and accessible manner. I'm delighted to announce Story's new AI summary feature. We're using the power of AI to distill the essence of all your stories, transforming hours of audio into a brief, easy-to-read summary. This feature went live today for all Story users who have completed at least 10 phone calls. The summary pulls all of your recordings to date to create a highly person-centered record of you. Seeing my own summary for the first time was quite an experience. It really does feel like Story knows me. For now, we broke our summary into 6 key areas, which are automatically updated and expanded upon once a month, as long as you have new phone recordings. And like all content on Story, it can be downloaded at any time. This is a really fascinating tool, and it opens up new possibilities in portraying someone's life in an interesting and effective way. I'm also happy to share that the next evolution of this experience is on the horizon. We will soon be releasing the ability to generate AI-driven videos to accompany your summaries, adding a whole new dimension to Story. So keep an eye on our updates for this. You can get Story as an online subscription, but we also offer a physical gift box, which is perfect to gift your loved ones. Inside are 3 cards explaining Story with setup instructions. It's super simple, gives you 12 months of calls, and all you need is a phone line. Story is growing fast, and for most of our users, it's the largest or only audio store they will ever complete in their life. We come from a team that's built electronic health records for senior care, from which we saw tech working well, and in some cases, not working at all. This inspired us to create a really simple solution that didn't require something new to learn, no matter your age. Thank you so much for listening. Please check us out at story.com, and we look forward to you recording stories for generations to come. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Hunter Cannon, a product manager at Ancestry, and I'm thrilled to be here today to discuss how Ancestry has been at the forefront of leveraging cutting-edge technology for the last 40 years to empower our customers' discoveries. For more than a decade, Ancestry has applied artificial intelligence, machine learning technology to billions of historical records, such as census collections, newspapers, to deliver unique discoveries to our customers about their family history. Through investments in AI-powered handwriting recognition, content mapping, and hint generation, we have been able to rapidly expand the world of content that we deliver to our customers, creating the largest collection of online family history records in the world. Through AI, we have tripled the rate of our content growth, allowing us to go from 0.8 billion in 2021 to a milestone 5.2 billion new records in 2022 to an industry high of 18.6 billion new records in 2023. Our use of AI technology goes far beyond just records. Here are just a few ways that Ancestry has implemented AI technology into our product that our customers interact with every day. Our DNA inheritance features, which include ethnicity, community, trait, and match inheritance, use AI to connect and correlate massive amounts of data to give you a deeper understanding of your DNA and the items that you inherited from each side of your family. Image tools making preserving your family photos easier than ever. Scanning uses AI to recognize individual images, automatically crop and enhance them. Sharpening and filter uses AI to improve image clarity, and AI colorization can make images more relatable. With recent developments in generative AI, Ancestry is now exploring the opportunities that generative AI can offer to deliver unprecedented value to our customers. Records are packed with information, but understanding and sharing the information can be a challenge. That's why we'll soon introduce a feature that lets you narrate records using generative AI. Prior to Lauren Bacall becoming a famous Hollywood celebrity, we can find her in the 1930 census under her given name, Betty Persky, as a 5-year-old living with her parents in New York City. The 1930 census gives us many insights, but understanding the story these details are telling takes a genealogist's eye and experience. Now, with the power of AI, these details are brought to the forefront. In Lauren's case, it highlights that she came from a diverse background, with her Romanian immigrant mother and her father's Jewish heritage. To quote the narrative, the Persky's family census entry serves as a testament to the multifaceted nature of American life during the Great Depression. Their Jewish heritage, combined with William's occupation as a salesman, underscores the resilience and adaptability of immigrant communities striving to carve out their place in the American dream. Lauren continued to demonstrate this resilience as she strived for her own dreams. In 1950 census, we find her in Los Angeles, where the narrative highlights that Betty's days were filled not only with the responsibilities of keeping house, but also with the pursuit of her own dreams. As an actress in the motion picture industry, she brought characters to life with her talent and dedication. Narrating records can make the findings within those records clear and more meaningful, providing additional context about the lives and surroundings of our ancestors. We have some additional new features that are going live in the coming months that harness the power of technology to empower your research. New features like the ability to search by faces of the people in your photos to see if ancestors have already been discovered and documented on Ancestry. Through this, you can gain insights into unknown identities of people in your old family photos and gain access to their pictures of those same people that have already been contributed to the platform. And an AI research assistant that gives you conversational, quick access to the vast world of Ancestry support and help content, pulling this information into the flow of your research so that you can get instant help with the issues or roadblocks you're working through. There's so much more to come. We see great potential in combining Ancestry's leadership in the family history with the power of AI technology to propel us into the future and give us the capabilities and discoveries to hand to our customers. Come stop by our booth and learn more about what we're working on. Thank you so much.
Holy smokes. I know it seems like I'm the professional, the MC and stuff, but I am just as big of a fan as all of you are when you see all of these amazing new technological advances. we have seen some amazing things today. It's been electrifying. Now, I want to extend a massive thank you to each and every one of our presenters who took the stage today. Your insights, innovations, and passions, they've truly inspired all of us. And we can't wait to see the impact of the latest innovations. And I loved seeing your opinions at the beginning on AI. After hearing from Jared and all our presenters, I want to try it again. I want to ask you how you feel about AI. So I don't know if you have that thing up or if, yeah, let's scan it again. Learning all that you just did, what are your thoughts now about AI? For me, it's a little less intimidating. Look at that. Either they're really good presenters or you actually assimilated some of the information. I agree. Isn't it amazing? And we can use these tools to connect even more. That's what's so beautiful, is that these tools are given to us so that we can connect and record our stories and lift each other up. For everyone joining online and here at the Saul Palace, don't forget to scan this QR code for an exclusive NFT. There's one coming up. There it is. And I wish I knew what an NFT was. All the kids know all about them. It's a non-fungible token. Something like that. You can't get fungus, I guess, because it's digital. And we've got even more excitement. We've got more excitement lined up for tomorrow. So mark your calendars, set those alarms, and join us bright and early at 9:30 a.m. for the Impact Forum featuring Robin Fivish. She's a distinguished researcher from Emory University. And thank you so much for joining us on this journey of exploration, innovation, and connection. And guess what? We will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.